great time driving up and seeing all the beautiful wildlife out here in this oasis. And so we're gonna get out and check out the ranch and see what we can learn today.
I'm Annie.
Hi Annie, I'm Simeon.
Hi Simeon, welcome.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right, yes indeed, we made it.
You made it.
Yeah. It was an adventure for sure.
Yeah. You didn't get off the beaten.
Well, not too much, not too much.
Okay.
This is Paul. Paul's
Hi
Annie.
Paul. Nice to meet you.
All right, okay.
Welcome.
Yes indeed, yes indeed. Steve.
Hi
Steven.
Steve.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
Fatima.
Boy, Sean.
Hi. Welcome.
How you doing, Cameron?
Welcome. Hi Cameron. No, enough of that.
So what do you guys call this house? Do you use this house?
Yeah, that's the
director's house.
The director's house.
So the cows are on the very opposite side of the ranch right now. If you can see those two top pastures on that mountain over there, that's where the cows are. So we try to keep them really far away from each other because they will try to get to each other if they can. So we try to not make it hard on ourselves. But yeah, these guys, we try to use, we don't put them in any really big pastures. All these pastures you really see out there are for the actual cow herd and the finishing herd. These guys, this is just these three, they do require a lot of feed to keep up their big body mass because a guy like Jesus, he's probably 1,600 pounds. Stevie, if you were to see him get up, it's hard to see him, but he's over 2,000 pounds. He's probably closer to 2,500 pounds. Doug talked a lot about the land performance side of things with how moving them quickly and being grass farmers and getting that photosynthesis. But the other part of it, for the animal side, the animal performance side, is actually it's really better for the animals to be moving that often as well. Not only does it make your life easier in terms of when you move them that much, so it's easy to handle them, but you can see what kind of performance these bulls right now are there's a body score condition scale for cows and all sorts of cattle. They would be at like a 9 or 10 right now. There's no more fat that you could really put on those animals at this type of year. The bulls, you don't really need to be worrying about that, but when we move them this often, they're getting the best parts of the grass, which are the top parts of the grass, and you keep them moving, that's what they're going to keep getting, and so they're going to perform really well. Oh, he looks like he's trying to get up.
aquaponics, you guys are familiar with aquaponics, right? It's a pretty cool thing. It's it's the answer of we're circulating aquaculture and hydroponics. If you take the two, you get the best of both worlds. And it's this symbiotic relationship of plants and bacteria and fish. And it's something I really believe in. I think it's a great thing. And I came on this ranch and we built this greenhouse and was talking about how awesome aquaponics is with a bunch of people who didn't know anything about aquaponics, and someone said, yeah, that sounds all good and everything, but what do you feed the fish? And I went, yeah, fish food. So where does that fish food come from? Well, fish food comes from the sea. It's fish meal, and then oftentimes like soy and corn, which are most often conventionally farmed, which is really tough on the soil and actually reduces soil carbon, and we're all about increasing soil carbon. So I thought, well, I don't want to buy fish meal and conventional grains for my fish food. So I started thinking about raising worms as a protein source and other insects like crickets and black soldier fly larvae and mealworms, and so I started thinking of a way to use things on the ranch to make a fish food. And so I came up with this fish food project, and I have a blog I'd love for you guys to take a look at. It's Symbi Biological. I'll send you the links. And there's some cool films and things about aquaponics and about the wormery and crickets and production and all that crazy stuff I've gone through to fail and be successful. And I try to share all of that so that people don't have to go through some of the things I went through. So I'm de-risking some things for folks. And the first step was, well, we have those horses that we were talking about, and I thought, well, what if we used the horse poop right there to feed the worms, you know? And I was thinking, well, what do we feed the horses, you know? So come on in here. And this is barley fodder. And this is, you guys know like wheatgrass, right? So this is essentially like wheatgrass for animals. And it's basically a big old root mass, you know, in grass. And it provides a lot of nutrients for animals. And just like wheatgrass does for human beings, it's really high in phytonutrients, plant nutrients. It's got a lot of different enzymes that help with digestion for animals. And if you're feeding hay to an animal, this really helps with the digestibility of hay. And what's neat is that you just put like 3 pounds of seed in a tray like this, and then it waters every 6 hours for 1 minute. And then in 6 to 7 days, it's like this. And so you take 3 pounds of seed that isn't really digestible by an animal. I mean, it is, but they end up getting a lot of, stomach issues. And you make it really digestible and also increase the weight to about 24 pounds. So 3 pounds of feed turns into 24 pounds of wet feed. You know, so it's about, if you dried it back down, it'd be about, 3 pounds again. But the growth actually brings out the enzymes that help the body of the animal digest the plant. So it's a really, really great tool for times when it's a drought. Right now we have tons of grass. Why in the world am I growing it in a machine? Well, because you guys are here, that's why. Yeah, it smells like ammonia, a little bit like cricket poop. And yes, that is. No. And then these are crickets. They look like, well, that's all right. They slow down once they get cold. And inside, they lay their eggs, and they look like little grains of rice.
Can they bite?
Yes, they do.
They can bite?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
How does it feel if it bites you?
It feels like a pinch. I get them on my neck sometimes.
Can you lift that up again?
Yeah.
Get that.
Wait, I wanna... Okay, if you pass me a cricket, I'll take it.
All that action in there.
Yeah, and then in this, I dehydrate
But it
them.
said it feels like a pinch.
Ooh, dried cricket.
Yeah, and then they look like that.
Oh.
Can you eat those?
So like trail mix for the way home.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat these now because
No,
I've been
not
sitting in
yet.
here for a while.
Okay. Do you make any fresh ones?
They have like little mites
You know,
on them.
cheddar.
So the ultimate.
So I touched the cricket for the first time in my life. What did you do? Is there any more?
Come on, man.
We had some leftover pumpkins from Halloween, and we found them that they were just sitting still intact. So last week I threw them in, and now they've been sprouting. But it's all right because you just pluck them out and then they decompose.
Do you have to water the soil for the worms to stay?
Are there worms in here?
You do, yeah. So there's a good spot to grab.
Oh, look, worms.
It's just from...
And they're like
Yay!
big old.
She likes worms.
I like the big ones that look like snakes.
Oh, the night crawlers? Yes! They look like the cobras with the little...
Yeah, they really look like snakes.
I like those worms.
This one's Paul.
Worm advertisement by Alexis and Isabella. Now, here at our fine worm fishery, as you would say, we like to grow worms.
Get him out the dirt.
Fearless.
Did you know that worms...
So, worm, do you want to eat one?
But both male and female parts.
If we have
which
some hot
means
sauce, I'll eat
that
one for
worms have
20
no
bucks.
gender.
Over on the other side is an orange dung beetle. It's a
What is
aphis.
this?
That's a cow pie.
Oh.
Notice it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell.
We can appreciate that.
It's a bunch of bull crap.
It's a bunch of bull crap.
Oh, she's going in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all lettuce.
What type of lettuce is this?
Oh, it's a romaine variety. I mean, that's a butterhead variety. Yeah, the fish are in the other room, and you keep them in a separate room so that if they were in this part of the system, they'd end up eating the roots, you know? And so we want to make sure that we keep our roots. So they're in a separate system, and that way we can separate the solids. And then they're hybrid goldfish carp and catfish. And the goldfish carp thing is, they found that when you breed a goldfish into a carp, it actually is a flakier, tastier fish. So they're still a little pondy, you know, but they're decent, and they grow really well, and they're very tolerant to cold temperatures and swings, and so it's like the idiot-proof fish, which I prefer.
Can I bite it?
Touch it, 'cause anything would touch it. Yeah, I was just about to ask you. I did up here.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're hybrid goldfish.
Hybrid goldfish? Oh, what is that? I touched some type
Can
of...
y'all like see them? Can I get up here and look?
I can't grab it. Water with fish food.
The fish aren't super
Can I, like,
cooperative. They don't usually show up because it's like, oh wow, there's a bunch of predators staring at me, and I don't really feel like, you know, so they're a little scared.
We should get an ad on it.
Separate
I
mineralization.
can see it too.
There they'll have the same all the mixing, and then the filter.
I don't really know what's going on, but whatever. Super dog. Put him over your shoulder.
So we're out here in Pescadero, California, right off the coast, west coast of California, and we are at the TomKat Ranch. At this ranch, we saw a really nice aquaponics system where they're growing vegetables, mostly lettuce. The system is run with fish, and they also are breeding cows here, and really healthy eating and healthy food. They're really creating an ecosystem up here. They're bringing worms and crickets, all sorts of different ways to develop sustainable living strategies. So we brought the students here so that they can see healthy ways of growing food and living sustainably. Just alternative ways compared to some of the traditional ways that we're growing food and building unhealthy ecosystems. Here at the TomKat Ranch, they're building healthy ecosystems and really showing how we can all live sustainably and develop our own ecosystem.